Alright, welcome to another episode of Psoto Desperado Plays Ark Survival Ascended. I'm going to go do a couple of caves and just kind of chill out, I guess. I'm going to go do this cave first. I saw somebody in the water the other day. It looked like it was a submarine or some shit. It was going so fast. I was like, wow, that's pretty fast for a water-based creature, you know. But I couldn't see it. My fence was in the way, so I couldn't see over it. But it went so fast, you know. It was like a UFO, like when you see a UFO in the water, you know. I was just cracking up. It looked so funky. But anyway, some of the things that I have to do, I mean, my mutations, they'll come along eventually. I was thinking of starting a health-based mutation somewhere else, like on a different map, so that I can have the 200 dino limit reversed, or not reversed, but put on me. But I don't know yet. Patchy. Yeah, I still haven't consolidated the Rexes, so I'm still looking for Rexes now and again. So anyway, I was gonna play another video. Let's play a video. I got Taylor the Fiend. Filipina women reveal why Western women are losing their men because they're bitches.
Yo, what is going on, guys? So it is absolutely no secret that Western women are losing the battle for men, okay? Western men are deciding to leave them in masse. They are going to places like the Philippines, to Southeast Asia, things like this. And so we have a very unique video here today of essentially 3 Filipino women explaining why it is that men are choosing Filipino women over Western women. Okay, it is absolutely no secret, guys, that men these days completely done with dating. A lot of them, they are going overseas if they are ever looking for long-term relationships and things like this, which of course is something that Western women despise. But we are going to be taking a look at this video here, where these Filipino women are reacting to Western women. It is absolutely hilarious. So guys, today's video is sent to me by Matrix of Madness. I'm also going to leave these Filipino women linked in the comment as well, so you can go and find the original video too, so check out the pinned comment. And let's just jump right into this video here, where these women are going to be reacting to what Western women demand from men in terms of a engagement ring. Let's jump in.
His own business, but he makes $45,000 a year. Would you date him?
You wouldn't be able to afford my engagement ring. You make $45,000 a year. It would take you, what, 4 years? No, 8 years to afford.
But how much? I don't know anything about rings. How much is that?
About $200,000.
Girl, you want a $200,000? Are you insane?
$200,000 is what this Western woman wants for her engagement ring. So if you make $45K a year, guys, you are too broke to date her, apparently. And people will say, oh, these videos, you know, they're cherry-picked and things like this. Trust me, guys, when I say that there is a very strong attitude in Western women these days where they want men to earn an outlandish amount of money. They won't date a lot of dudes unless they earn 6 figures or unless they're very highly attractive, things like this.
My ring has to sparkle from across the street. Like, you have to do that shit. You have blind people, but like, I'm not a regular girl.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You need to break her ass and shake her ass.
Buy a dog and die alone.
Yeah, it makes me laugh, the video at the end, you know, the ad. Oh, yeah, so what do you guys think? $200,000 for a ring?
For a ring. $20,000. That's already 2 properties or 3 properties in the Philippines.
Just for a ring.
And that's just for a ring. Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, maybe I would ask her. If I was there, I would ask her what can she bring on the table. Assuming I'm the man, I would ask her what can she bring on the table, because if she says something like, I can cook, I can clean, I can do whatever in the house, I would say there's really nothing special about you, because not everybody might be a perfect cook, but everybody can cook, everybody can clean, everybody can do whatever in the house.
This woman is being so generous here, by the way. This is assuming that the Western women are ever going to cook or clean for a man anyway, guys. You know, these women who are demanding this amount of money from dudes, oh, he has to make 100K a year, he has to buy me a ring that's worth this much, blah, blah, blah. They don't cook, they don't clean, and if they do, it's never going to be consistent. You know, I think this woman's being very generous here. These women, they don't even bring this to the relationship.
So you're really not offering anything on the table. So you have to be, I mean, you definitely have to be somebody who has probably like a superhuman power. Yes, super skill for him to be able to give you that 200K ring. Like, it's ridiculous for me.
It seems like she wants a good ring, not a good man. But you know, what
I was
about you?
shocked by the price. I mean, I think she's very lucky if she's gonna have a man who's gonna give her a very like.
Okay, so let me ask you guys, how much the reasonable price a ring would you okay with it? Like how much?
Me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So to be honest, because I don't wanna. In this video, we want an honest question. I got the first engagement ring from John. Believe me or not, but I have to be honest. It's just like 459 pesos, I guess.
Are you happy with it?
Yes, because I'm not that kind of person that is like, I want something fancy ring that is very expensive or whatever. My ring is not even like 1,000 pesos or not. How much is 400 in dollar? Like $8?
Like $8.
Yeah,
$8. That's our engagement ring.
Yes.
Imagine. So we bought it together when John came over here. We decided to get that ring. But I was not looking for something expensive because I was thinking about the other girls. Like, I want, because it's very memorable. I mean, it's okay. It depends on the couple, especially the woman. If she likes this, she likes that. But maybe John is just so lucky for me that I don't act that I want something like a very expensive one,
ring.
just a very simple one that really shows that I'm engaged or something. I'm very happy and content in a very small things already. I am.
So guys, you probably notice that I didn't pause the video there. I let these women speak for a solid, I don't know, a couple of minutes. And the reason why I did that, many of you guys will notice, is because these women, unlike the women that we usually cover on the channel, are not damn annoying. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not losing my marbles listening to them. I could pull up a video, you know, women talking on TikTok. You just pull up some random one.
No shit.
And it's always like you're being yelled at. It's like, even if the Western woman that is sitting there explaining something to you, it feels like you're being yelled at the entire damn time. But on the subject of the rings, notice how she doesn't care, because she's not with the man for the price of the ring. Okay, and this is what a lot of the problems come with in Western day societies, guys, is women treat their long-term relationships with men as some sort of retirement plan. You know, get married to this guy because I can divorce him and I can take him things, right? Take his things. Go with this guy because he gives me status. It's all about what I want, and what I need. Okay, and it's never, like this woman on the right-hand side said, it's not about what they can provide. You ask these women what they can provide, and they never give you an answer. They just get offended. They don't actually have anything that men care about to begin with. It's really quite sad. But let's continue here.
That's why I was shocked with the price.
Yeah, like you said earlier, some women would want to have a very expensive ring because they want something memorable.
Yes.
But I would say that something memorable does not have to come with a price.
Yes.
Like, you can buy me a $2 ring. The memory of that is you proposing to me. I mean, the value of that $2 ring, yes, it is just a $2, but it is very expensive for me because you got on your knees and you asked me to be your wife, and
that's how I look.
For me, it's not a price.
It's not.
What a totally different answer to what you would receive from a Western woman, guys. You know, what a totally different thing. We'll continue into the next clip that they cover here in a moment. But it's just so astounding. It is very refreshing, guys. My brain isn't actually being injured when I listen to these individuals talk, right? So we're going to be pulling up the next video in a second. I'm going to organize this so we can actually see what they're reacting to. But this woman on the right-hand side, by the way, she was talking about how the women want it because it's expensive kind of thing. A lot of the women, they want it because it's a status symbol as well. Number one, they can sell it later because their marriages never damn last. But the women, the Western women, oftentimes, they don't care about the memories. They don't care about what the ring means. All they care about is that it's status and that it's money. It's really sad, guys. It is absolutely so sad. And then they wonder why, by the way, because here's the thing. Women will oftentimes in Western society say, oh, well, you're just broke. That's why you won't buy me this ring, or that's why you won't buy me this item. But guys, like, you know, there are very many wealthy men out there who they don't want to buy these women things because they're mean. You know, they have the money to buy you these things. There are plenty of wealthy dudes in Western countries. They just lose to the Filipino women because the Filipino women are actually nicer. And this is what I'm talking about in my videos, guys, is women oftentimes overestimate all the things, you know, that they think that we need some supermodel or something like that. But women like this are quite rare, the ones that are actually nice and not a complete headache to be around. Completely different. Let's take a look at this video here. So they're going to be reacting to this. Why Passport Bros Exist, part 1. Oh boy, let's take a listen.
I got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just going to tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
You got 2 kids with, how much do you get?
Oh my god, yes, I have 2 kids from, 2 different dads. How much am I getting from them? $0. Yeah, maybe I'm not smart enough like these Western women, but I don't know, she is like making money off her
Kids from the
children.
kids.
It's like a business.
Yeah. And that right there is a perfect example why men flee from their countries and come over to Asia to find a woman.
Exactly, because of this reason. And they also saying that Filipinas only want money from foreigner guys. So you see this.
There's a reason why they fly over here.
I mean,
to find a good woman, also not like that.
Well, how much you spend for your Filipina, right? Why would they say that we only want money from our foreign partners? It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's really sad that women actually choose that path. Like, okay, you are in it for the money, but where is your moral? Like that really makes you look cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, guys. Absolutely roasted. You know, that makes you look cheap. That is some absolute brawling words coming out. But she's absolutely correct here, guys. These women, they don't have morals. They don't, okay? This woman, back in the video, let me just go back here. This woman on the side, 6 children to 6 different baby fathers. Now, obviously, this is an extreme example, guys, but it is no secret, absolutely no secret whatsoever, that a lot of Western women are using their children as essentially paychecks, okay? They go out there, they have these kids because they know that they can essentially extort money out of the dude that they were with to have the children. So you can't convince me, you know, people are like, oh, why don't men get married, or why aren't men having children in our country anymore? This is exactly why, man. These women oftentimes don't care about family. And you might say, well, Taylor, not all women do that. And I'll give you that, okay? Not every woman is going to treat her child like it's a paycheck or something like this. The problem is that they can. And it's a very much a growing attitude in Western society right now, guys, where these women, they don't want to work. They just want to leech off of the hard work of men. And so what they do is they steal their money in any way that they can. This woman quite literally has a little notepad going on here where she does the maths. And by the way, 6 children, that's an absolute handful. Like, this woman refuses to get a job. But I mean, 6 children is essentially having a job, isn't it? But I'm going to pull up the next clip momentarily here, guys. I mean, it just gets worse and worse, really. But again, guys, notice how these women are not annoying, right? They make their commentary, and it's not like they're yelling at you. It's not like they're screaming at you. They're actually not terrible to listen to whatsoever. So let's continue on to the next clip here. This will be a good one. This is a podcast. Oh, boy. Podcasts these days, guys. Always quality thoughts being passed around on podcasts these days from these Western women. What is this? Every day is Friday. That sounds horrible. Let's jump in.
The man is supposed to be the breadwinner. Okay. I would like to talk about, maybe having a weekly allowance or something.
How much would how much would be?
So how much?
Look at this woman's face, man. She's like, what? A weekly allowance? What on earth is this? Man, strong and independent, by the way, but still demands a weekly allowance from her dudes. And guys, you cannot convince me, okay? These women who want these, I want a weekly allowance, or I want this money, or my man has to buy me bags and things like this. I can promise you now, these women are not loyal to you. If you're out here and you're paying an allowance to these women, they're sitting there demanding, I demand an allowance to be in a relationship with you. If you're handing these women money, they are cheating on you. I just want you to know that, guys. If you're a dude and you're in this situation, they don't respect you. They're treating you like a wallet. So, I don't think men should allow themselves to be treated that way. Each to their own. But she's cheating on you, just so you know.
Allowance or something?
How much would how much? So how much is a weekly allowance?
Like my last relationship, he was giving me $2,000-3,000 every week.
That's a lie.
2,000-3,000 every week. How lucky.
How much is that? $2,000-3,000 in peso.
$3,000 is 150,000 pesos.
A week.
That's just a week.
That's like for a year surviving here in the Philippines.
Yes, and if you multiply 150,000 pesos in a year, if I'm not mistaken, it's 8 million pesos. For 8 million pesos, you already have 2 or 3 properties in the Philippines, right? So
I like how this woman, by the way, because she's doing what men do right here. When you hear some woman say, "Oh, I want $200,000 for an engagement ring," most men will be like, "That's stupid. Do you know how many of X I could get with that particular money?" And the dude will say something that has utility, right? He'll use some, I don't know, common sense. And a lot of people would be like, well, why wouldn't we just buy this? But to Western women, it's like, no, it's an investment. Yeah, it's an investment for the woman because she's going to sell it later when she ditches you, okay? But this woman is absolutely correct. In the Philippines, I'm sure this is a few properties over time. It's like these are investment properties that you could be buying. Now, as far as I know, foreigners can't actually invest in the Philippines. Don't quote me on that. Somebody can let me know in the comments. But still, right, is you could invest in something that actually has some utility. This woman's brain, she has common sense, guys. What a crazy thought that is. Let's keep going.
It's just a wise decision for these men to actually just flee from their country because again, there are these crazy demands from women.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's why there were men also that would like to stay single only rather than being with the girl that is very I want this, I want that, I want a lot of things. I want very materialistic person. So they decided to be single, and some or just really like what I said, go to the Asian country to find something like a woman that is not demanding on something like. Yeah, they were not looking for a man. They were looking for something money or support.
She's
to their.
Definitely looking for a millionaire because I think that I don't know anything much about the U.S., but I believe that the monthly wage in the US is about $6,000, and she's asking for $3K for a week. So
why does this woman who lives in the Philippines have a more accurate understanding of the US average earnings of men than the woman who lives in America? I'm pretty sure, isn't it like 42,000 maybe? I'm not quite sure exactly what the average earnings is in America. But this is certainly a lot more accurate than you get out of the Western women from these videos. Isn't that crazy to think about, guys? This woman is just so much more grounded in reality than any of these women that you'll ever find on TikTok. Now, guys, I understand, okay, the average woman that you find on TikTok is not necessarily the average woman in Western society. But number one, there certainly are a lot of them. And number two, it's an attitude that is often shared by many more Western women who are not making those TikTok videos. But let's keep going here. We'll continue on to the next clip that they pull up. Let's see what else they pull up. Oh no, we've got a woman in her car. Foreign woman reacts to 304 who wants $3,000 weekly allowance. Oh boy, I love how this page, by the way, this TikTok page is called Get Your Passport. That's hilarious.
Money only? Whatever happened to a man providing information, education, guidance, advice, or even behavior improvement? Do you know why some women consider a man giving them money being the provider of the relationship? Because that is the only thing they would accept from a man. A lot of modern women, they don't want no guidance. They don't want to be told that they need to do better as the female in that relationship. How could that woman from the previous clip, I'm not judging her, how could she be an asset to his life? How can she bring improvement to his life? Actually goes for a lot of women out there. A lot of women, they are so cool and so content with spending a man's money that he clearly works hard for and don't even pack the man's lunch. Girl, please. These women, they don't even want to master the basics in a relationship. They don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to do none of that. They just want to sit there, be pretty, and spend the man's money. And what kind of world do you live in, honestly? And especially, what are you going to do when you get old? Whose money are you going to spend then? You're going to be alone. And ugly.
That makes you laugh at the end words. Well,
it's true. She said it clearly.
Everything she said, it's a fact, right?
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, and the woman herself said, in my last relationship. So that speaks a lot. In your last relationship. So basically,
that would be her forever last.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, your 3K weekly allowance didn't work.
That's you. Yeah, right. And then also, so this is also Western women, I guess. So at least there's,
that they're aware that yes, what's going on and the places and their country.
Yeah, but we should not generalize the Western women.
Not all. So this is the example. Even this one understand, right?
I think there are many Western women who are not like this. The thing is that the bad women speak the loudest, and they get so much attention in social media.
Yeah.
I agree with that. The bad women are certainly the loudest. But I'm not going to pretend like this isn't a very large problem in Western society, okay? Like, a lot of women, you would be surprised how many women on a regular basis just act entitled towards men. They act rude. The average man is completely invisible. They treat men as completely disposable, things like this, okay? So no, not every woman is going to demand $3,000 per week or whatever nonsense she's going to demand. But there certainly is an attitude in Western society right now towards men that makes men not want to participate. They don't want to date Western women a lot of the times. They don't want to work in Western countries. They don't want to fight in Western wars because there's not a lot for men to gain in these places anymore. Okay, it's not to say that every single woman is going to make awful TikTok videos and be an awful human being. It's just that, number one, they certainly can rob you through the government, by the way. And this is a growing attitude in Western society, guys. Like, some of these TikTok videos, okay, you might come across a really, really stupid TikTok video and you might go, well, that woman's crazy. Some of these videos, guys, have like millions of likes on them, thousands upon thousands of likes on comments alone. Okay, dating coaches for women, not a small thing. And a lot of them spew complete nonsense. They have no idea what they're talking about. You will never keep a man if you follow what they say. And many Western women follow exactly what they say. So, very, very... this woman's trying to be lenient towards Western women, I guess, but it certainly is very bad. Let's continue on to the next clip here. This woman, holy hell, this woman looks terrifying. So this one here has a list of demands, I think this is. My goodness. Let me pull this over so you guys can see. I'm just going to read this first before the individual reads it to us. Things I expect a man to do in marriage. Number 1, pay the mortgage/rent and utilities. I like how she's put emojis after this as if it makes the list any less ugly. Number 2, do most of the cooking. Wash the dishes. See, you've already lost me, right? If the man is paying for everything and you want him to do the chores as well, why would he not just boot you out and pay someone to do these things as well? You know, I've heard a lot of guys do this, right? They boot the woman out and then they just pay for a maid, and it works out to be cheaper in the long run anyway. So anyway, wash the dishes, do the laundry, take out the trash, yard work or housework. Honestly, it means both, doesn't it? Upkeep the cars, so multiple cars. Date night at least 2 a month, annual honeymoon, and something about family vacations. Holy hell, man. Let's see how they react.
Men to do in marriage. Number 1, pay the rent, mortgage, and utilities. So that's like the
She's
rent,
already laughing.
the water, and like the electric. You know what I'm saying? And then if you have a home, like the property tax and the mortgage insurance, all that good stuff. Number 2, to do most of the cooking. I cook, but I don't really like to cook, so it's really a plus when I meet a guy.
Yeah, she's more of an eater, I think.
Who is really good at cooking, and there are actually a lot of men that are great cooks. Number 3, the dishes. I don't like doing the dishes, so it would be great to have a man that just took that chore off of my hands, because I don't like to do the dishes.
Is this woman wearing a carpet, by the way?
Number 4, do the laundry.
What is this?
And when I say do the laundry, I don't just mean like put the clothes in the wash. I mean like the whole process. Put the clothes in the wash, put the clothes in the dryer, put them up, iron what needs to be ironed, fold what needs to be fold. Like do the whole thing from A to Z. Number 5, take out the trash. I don't like to take out the trash. Number 6, any yard work or housework. Now, he doesn't necessarily have to like fix it. Like if there's like a broken pipe or something, like he doesn't have to fix it, but he does have to be responsible in calling whoever to make sure that it is fixed. So it's just his responsibility. Number 7, upkeep the car. So that includes any tire changes that need to be made, any oil changes that need to be made, putting gases in the car, making sure the
Holy
cars are...
shut up. Okay, so we get the idea. Let's continue on to their response here. She's just yammering away. Let's take a listen.
Wow!
She's looking for a maid, not for a man.
It's really painful to watch that.
I don't know if she was joking or not, but I'm quite conflicted whether, I don't know if she's looking for a helper or a husband. Because, how in the hell can he do everything on the list and provide her with everything that she needs?
What's she gonna...
You know what? By the way, there are men who do all of this stuff for themselves completely fine. You know, they look after the car, they pay their bills, they go to work, they do their dishes, they do the laundry and all of this sort of stuff. And there are lots of men who do this completely fine by themselves, right? The problem is these women are so damn entitled, and to be honest, they're actually more of a detriment to your life than just doing it by yourself.
If that's the case, she'll try to be pretty.
What's she gonna... Is there any chance Just kidding.
I don't know, but these are crazy demands, man. Maybe
that's ridiculous. She have actually the list. What's she gonna do in a relationship?
Maybe she's like...
Open her legs, that's it.
And she said she wants somebody who can also cook because she does not like cooking and taking the trash out. Okay.
That's not really like a big work to do, because will you just chill all day? And
she needs her mommy. If that's the case,
she needs a maid or she needs a housekeeper that she will pay. Not.
It's really sad. It's really sad because it seems like she only wanted the guy to do stuff for her, and she doesn't even because that's her video is all about what she expects a man to do in a relationship.
I would be interested to see what these women can offer on the table. Because what we
just to let you all know, in order for a man to do everything on that list, he would have to have his own business. He'd have to make so much money. He wouldn't have to, he'd be able to be at home doing all this work or hiring people to do this work. You could hire people to fix cars, clean house, maids. You can hire them, but he would have to make enough money to hire maids and maintain the entire structure. But she doesn't contribute at all. She's just there on her ass watching novelas all day, watching soap operas all fucking day doing nothing. That's what that woman wants. She just wants to sit there on her ass, eat, getting fatter, watching, stuff on TV, bullshit on TV, and she doesn't want to do anything. And my mom wound up in that situation, but at least I can say my mom was a fucking veteran, and, she did something with her life. She raised my sister and myself. She she took care of my stepdad, Joe, who was in the Army, and he got sick, and she stuck by him for a lot of years before she couldn't do it anymore. And so she hung in there, and she did contribute, and she did do a lot. But so she had the right to just sit on her ass and see novelas all day towards the end of her life. I mean, sure, why not? But that woman's young. When you're that young, like you're young like these ladies, you don't have the right to just sit on your ass and do nothing all day. You have to make a life. You have to activate, and do something. It's crazy. Anyway.
Have just watched, all of them are letting us know what their demands are, but they're not letting us know what they can give their men in exchange. Right? So I would really be interested to actually hear what they can offer.
That's a good point, because I never seen a video that they actually make a video. What can they offer for their men? What should they do for their partners? I never seen a video
to be impressed.
A single video, no.
Yeah.
And also this.
The reason why you've never seen a video of women doing that is because they don't, okay? And guys, of the very few that I have seen, of women going, oh, here's what I cook for my husband or something like this. Every time I see a video like that, the woman who's doing the nice thing for her man is just getting roasted in the comments by other women, right? Calling her oppressed, calling her, his mother and things like this. It's just trying to insult the woman for doing anything nice for a man, okay? So these videos are very, very rare. They basically don't exist, and when they do, the women get absolutely roasted for it. But this woman brings up a great point, What do the women bring in the relationship? What are they bringing to the table? And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of these individuals are not really bringing anything. They are asking for a lot from men. The men are saying, okay, we hear your demands. Now, what do we get in return? And the answer is not a whole lot, to be honest with you. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. A bit of an interesting one. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. I'm going to leave a link to the original in the pinned comment if you want to go and check out the video. But as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Hey.
Some beautiful woman there, man. I'm telling you. Some beautiful women. I'll get put it on Facebook. Look at those beautiful women there with common sense. Look at that. God damn. My mom, she purposely fought me because she thought it was funny, and she didn't really care about me. Those women, if they have a child, they actually care about their child. They actually prioritize their child. They'll protect their child. They won't abuse their child. They won't tear their child down for personal entertainment. They won't hurt their babies. But a woman over here in the Western area, because they are so wrapped up in independence and they have their own power, they think they have the right to abuse their children. They think they have the right to, use us as, what do they call it? Like a whipping boy. You know, whenever you feel bad, you go whip the boy so you can feel better. That's what I was used as for decades. My mom had this sick mentality. So, anyway, Jesus. Society is moving backwards. I like Jack Morgan. I can't believe what just happened to Whoopi Goldberg. Finance Zone. Whoopi's so full of shit.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Whoopi, when I used to listen to Whoopi, I used to be, yeah. You know, when I was younger, in my 20s. And nowadays, it's like Whoopi's just gone completely left crazy. She's like a Nazi of liberalism. And I hate to say that because I love Whoopi. I mean, I loved her characters when she was acting. I loved her attitude. She was always so focused. And she came up with a lot of good points. I mean, a bazillion good points. And nowadays, it's like it's more important for her to be liberal and Democrat than it is to be a decent, honest person. These people are lying on that View show. They just lie about people, and nobody fact
Welcome back to the channel. Dylan here. We have a massive bombshell of a video today about the View's host, Whoopi Goldberg. She is currently being canceled, and rightfully so, for what she just did. And now many people are actually calling her to resign and step away from The View if she doesn't get fired first. So this actually is so horrible looking for not only her news station ABC and The View. It's also just looking really bad for Democrats right now. In my opinion, people like Whoopi Goldberg, people like Joy Behar, people like Sunny Hostin, they actually, in my opinion, helped Donald J. Trump win the race against Kamala Harris because people saw right through them. All right, so before we dive in, we're going to read the Bible and pray because God comes first. Amen. Comment amen down below if you believe that. Today's Bible reading is Ephesians 6:12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Amen. I do believe we are in a spiritual battle of good and evil right now, and I think a lot of people are now turning towards the truth. They're waking up, and they're now believing in God, right? God is raising up Christian leaders in our nation, and we're seeing that right now. So now let's jump into the video. All right, guys, so we do have a major breaking news update with this. Let's tune in.
A Staten Island bakery is hitting back at Whoopi Goldberg after she alleged on The View that they refused to make her dessert for her 69th birthday over her left-wing politics.
I should tell you, Charlotte Russe has no political leanings.
What a horrible way to spend your 69th birthday, by the way. I mean, how miserable do you have to be?
And the place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What? Oh.
They said that their ovens had gone down, all kinds of stuff, but folks went and got them anyway, which is why I'm not telling you who made them. But can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah. But the bakery is firing back. They say that the reason they couldn't deliver Whoopi's order was due to problems with the building's boiler and not her politics. They even held a news conference with some other New York lawmakers, including Vito Psoto, to clear their good name. Judge, you have strong thoughts about this.
Well, first of all, I have strong thoughts about Whoopi because I think it was about 6 years ago she threw me off the set of The View. There I am because I was supporting Donald Trump.
Are you serious? I didn't even know about this. Let's listen to this story.
Whoopi got angry, and what the viewing audience, the television audience, didn't see is that they popped up the cover of my book as she pushed off the desk, unplugged her mic, and then stormed off the set. So I'm there saying, I'm in television. I said, I don't think the segment's over, but I think she just left, Janine. I think it's over. So I take off my own mic, and then you have to go down the stairs. I go down the stairs and she's right there. And I said something like, Whoopi, I spent my whole life fighting for victims because we had talked about rapes and all that. And she said to me, as she got up in my face, and I read somewhere someone said, well, you should have kept walking. I couldn't walk by her. She was at the bottom of the stairs. She says, F you, F you. And then I said, did you just say F you? And then she said, get the F out of this building, get the F out of this building. So I'm there and
Whoopi Goldberg said that to Judge Giannine? Oh, no. You don't mess with Judge Giannine, Whoopi. You don't mess with her.
Judges have a lot of fucking power. Judges have so much fucking power, it's scary, guys. They don't just have power inside their courtroom. They have the power to drag you with documentation by force through law enforcement into their fucking courtroom. And then once you're in their fucking courtroom, you're in that fucking box, they're yours. I mean, you're theirs. I'm sorry. You're theirs. And they can fuck you over 10 times over in every direction imaginable. In all honesty, they will fuck you. Simply because they can. And that's just the way judges are set up. They have godlike power in the courtroom. And they can drag pretty much anybody into a courtroom as long as they have reasonable... They have to have some sort of reasonable reason for having you dragged in there. They can't just drag anybody. It's not Nazi Germany. You have to have, probable cause to be in there. But God Almighty, let's see the rest of it. Jesus.
And
you didn't do anything to provoke anybody there?
No, you can ask the people that I was with. I mean, she was nuts going off the set, and then when I walked down, and so as I started walking out the building, so this woman is yelling behind me, "Get the F out of this building!" I mean, look, I've been a prosecutor, judge, DA for 30 years. I tried murder cases. I can go toe to toe with anybody, but that was abuse, and it was sad. It was a sad moment that she was triggered, and I never understood.
If you don't like Whoopi Goldberg, thumbs up this video, click subscribe, comment below. Let's get this video going viral. Wow, Whoopi, this might be the end of her.
Okay, but I should thank her because I was there to talk about my book, which made #1 on the New York Times bestseller. It was a script. You could see the body language there.
You haven't changed one bit.
Holy crap, look at Whoopi. She sucks.
Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about it. Oh my God. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, but look, there's no requirement that you identify the name of the bakery explicitly. If you Google Charlotte Russe, there's only one bakery in New York that carries this particular cupcake. And they wanted to pre-order it. She called. She said, it wasn't my gender, it was my politics. How the hell do you know that? They can prove that the oven wasn't working. But the next day it was working, so they were able to sell the cupcakes. So it was a false statement. It was made publicly.
Wow.
And they can sue for damages because it was a lie. It was defamatory. They were subject to contempt.
They could sue for a lot of money. I mean, we're talking millions of dollars, guys.
Unsavory opinion, which is why they held a press conference. That's it.
You have thoughts about this prime time? So it was a Thursday 2 weeks ago, and I had Johnny call a restaurant near my house to make a dinner reservation for 6:30 for 2 on Saturday night. And I said, all right, Johnny, how'd it go? And he goes, you didn't get it. And I said, what? Because I'm not used to not getting reservations. I said, so what happened? And he goes, well, they said they didn't have enough room for you guys. And I said, well, did you say my name? And he goes, yes, Jesse, I said your name. I said... He goes, I even asked if I could speak to the manager. I spoke to the manager, and he said, no, we're not going to give him a table. So immediately I thought I was being discriminated against because I'm Jesse Waters. And now
Olive Garden would never do that.
Olive Garden?
And now I'm thinking there might just not had enough room, and that just might be their policy. It has nothing to do with my politics. But
Whoopi Goldberg has her butt so far up, her head so far up her butt, sorry. She literally thinks the world revolves around her.
I go out on Friday and blast the place by name? No. I have more class than that. Dignity? Not so much.
Whoopi Goldberg shows up to the local Olive Garden. Hey, give me a table. They're like, we have a 45-minute wait. She goes, wow, you guys don't like my politics. I'm going to go talk about you on The View. Like, Whoopi just, that's how she thinks.
Getting where you want to go. So this conversation's foreign to you, but what are your thoughts about the,
Well, thank you. I do get in often.
Ooh, Kayleigh McEnany, let's hear from you. I love this woman. So sad she didn't make it as White House press secretary, but Caroline Leavitt, I like you, but I would have preferred Kaylee. Sorry, Caroline.
Teaching skills.
Because it was packed.
Johnny, I'll teach Johnny some look, so this press conference happened during our hour, during Outnumbered, and I heard that a bakery is having a press conference. I'm like, what? Since when are we covering a bakery press conference? Did I learn the details? This press conference began by them saying, like, we are the American story. These bakers wake up at 2 or 3 a.m.
Yep.
This is a family business. They work their whole lives to keep going. The boiler was 60 or 70 years old. It went out. Totally explanatory story. But Whoopi Goldberg, she said, perhaps it was because of my politics. What data point do you have to lead you to believe that? Did you just make that up? The hubris you have, Whoopi, to send out the attack dogs on a family bakery. You have lost all touch with reality. And I agree, defamation here.
Yep.
I mean, it is so offensive for Whoopi to show up. She shows up, you know, they treat you so well when you're on a TV show like this. They pamper you. Oh, you get everything you want. You get a makeup person. You get, oh, what kind of snacks do you want? Oh, do you want this? Do you want that? Like, they worship you on these shows. And she has the audacity. If you've ever talked to a baker, you know that they wake up super early because they have to bake fresh baked goods for the day. They can't, you know, work the day before. They have to show up the day of, and a lot of times bakeries open super early, so they're showing up at like 3, 4 a.m. to start baking for the day. And Whoopi up there on her high horse, wow, this bakery sucks. It's like, you have no idea what they have to go through.
Mr. Gutfeld, I know you order from this place a lot. Have you ever had a problem not getting your order?
Not at all. Isn't it ironic that Whoopi is getting a rise out of the bakery? We'll be right back. There is nothing worse than a person on television with a wide audience, and The View has a wide audience, dunking on a small business because they didn't get what they want. You're supposed to have some kind of grace when you know that you have power that somebody else doesn't. Charisma is power plus empathy. You have the power, you choose not to use it.
Yeah, this girl is a freaking multi-millionaire, apparently worth $60 million bucks, and she, you know, she doesn't have problems like the everyday people. That's why the Jennifer Lopez endorsement didn't work. That's why the Beyonce endorsement didn't work. You know, they're going back to their billion-dollar net worths. Obama rolling up his sleeves, talking to the brothers. He's going back to Martha's Vineyard afterwards. Look at this. Whoopi, she's also getting canceled from like last week? Just listen to this.
I'm sorry. When you have one candidate who has been running for 12 years, who lies and changes things, I appreciate that people are having a hard time. Me too. Yeah. I work for a living. If I had all the money in the world, I would not be here. Okay? So I'm a working person, you know?
You know why no one laughed at her joke is because people can't relate to her. She's like, I have to come to work. I don't have, my life's difficult. It's like, no one laughed at your joke. Only Sunny Hostin. What an idiot.
Okay, so I'm a working person, you know?
Don't clap for Whoopi. You know they hold up the applause signs. Don't follow that.
Kid has to feed her family, you know, and my great-granddaughter has to be fed by her family. I know it's hard out there, but I also know that there are a lot of things that we just said, no, I'm just going to go this way. Right. And a lot of that is also what happened. I love what she did. Yay. You know, we talk to people all the time who say, this is what's bothering me. But the thing that's bothering everybody should not be the thing that puts 85% of other people in danger. Yeah.
Wow, what an absolute idiot. So Joe Rogan actually talked about and called out Whoopi Goldberg during his podcast with Donald J. Trump. I wanted to play this for you guys.
One of the things I wanted... Before he plays that clip, I just want to point out that he's right, that she should have had a little bit more exercise in what she said. She's used to shooting her mouth off, I think, and everybody believing whatever the fuck she says without question. And I think that's what's really given her that advantage over people, is that she just is not self-editing. She thinks that everything comes out of her mouth is 100% kosher, and it's not. You know, anybody can shoot their mouth off, make that kind of mistake, but it takes a real big person to admit that they fucked up and they shouldn't have said that. And that's what she should have done immediately. As soon as she realized she fucked up, she should have said, I apologize for saying that. I made an assumption. It was unfounded. I just thought I was right, and I wasn't. I'm sorry. And that would have gone all the way, and that would have got her out of a lawsuit. That probably would have got her out of every fucking problem. Let's see Joe here.
To talk to you about, I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it because it could get copyright struck, and we don't want to get the episode. We don't want anybody to have any sort of a way to get it down.
Sure.
But it was the episode of you when you're on The View, and I think it was 2015 or 2006, like when you were running for president.
Right.
And you got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you. They were all talking about how you might be conservative in your financial positions, but you're very liberal socially.
So let's just play that real quick.
Hey, everybody used to like Trump. Like the show. You ever seen like videos of Trump on The View with Barbara Walters back when they liked him? You ever seen that?
Yes, but I can't remember what you're referring to.
You should see it because it's bonkers. This is it. Watch this. This is bonkers. Go full screen. This is literally bonkers.
Real estate mogul and a television star. But does he really want to add president of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to. Please let's find out and please welcome
Freaking Whoopi.
Donald Trump.
My friend.
Just watch this.
My friend Donald Trump.
Alternative universe. Okay, because this is not that long ago.
Yeah, this is freaking Whoopi Goldberg. All
standing
ovation for Donald Trump.
Watch this.
Look at Whoopi.
So
Look at Whoopi.
It's easy. Yeah. But everybody else.
The Joy can't wait to get a hug in.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, the View actually used to be somewhat watchable when Elizabeth Hasselbeck was on there. I mean, yeah, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, she was an absolute stunner.
Look at this. Look at this. Kisses, hugs.
Kisses with Whoopi.
Everybody hugs and kisses, even Joy Behar. Hugs and kisses.
Joy Behar, hugs and
Welcome
kisses.
to the world of politics.
So I'm going to take you at your word that you have not decided yet when you're going to run, but you're thinking about it and you've expressed some of your views, which are controversial and in many ways, but not to her. Well, not to her. Okay, you're a Republican, so, but let's say that you do decide in the spring, right? And your ideas resonate so much. On the other hand, we saw Newt Gingrich apologizing for his marriages and divorces. You've had 3 marriages, 2 sort of uncomfortable divorces. Do you think that
not really. They were very comfortable.
Well, we won't leave you all. Do you think
Getting laughs right away.
that would bother anybody?
I think the country is doing so badly, they want somebody that's going to help it.
Notice the way Whoopi just looks at Donald Trump. Like, she doesn't really say much. She's so calm back then. What happened to her? She went full lib mode.
I think the country has never been in a position like it is right now. It's being ripped off by every nation, every intelligent nation in the world, whether it's China. They're taking our jobs, they're making all our product, and then they loan us back the money we pay.
China.
Whether it's OPEC.
That's crazy.
OPEC, which is, look at this, watch this, field day right now. How about the Arab League? They say, we want you to go in and attack Libya. These are the wealthiest countries in the world. Why aren't they paying us?
Okay,
Why?
so then they changed their minds. But you didn't answer my question.
No, I did answer your question.
Well,
I really think
it
people.
won't matter.
I think maybe 10 years ago it would have mattered. 5 years ago. The fact is, I think people want somebody now that's going to protect them and protect this country, because we're not going to be a great country for long if we keep going the way we're going right now.
If you,
The audience cheers.
Yeah. When we have friends.
who would you like as your vice president? Possibly Sarah Palin?
Well, I think it's far too early even to discuss that. I'm going to make a decision sometime prior to June. I'm thinking about it very strongly. I think I'd do a really good job. I think I'd protect this country like it's not being protected. Now, it's funny. So many of the things I say, now politicians are saying, hey, that's right. Why aren't they paying us? If you look at North Korea, South Korea, we're protecting South Korea. They're making a fortune. Let's call it hundreds of billions of dollars of profit on us. We have 25,000 soldiers over there protecting them. They don't pay us. Why are they paying us?
You'd be treating this like a business.
No. A business with heart.
Okay.
Believe me, there's a lot of heart.
They used to love Trump. What happened? So let's hear Trump's reaction to that.
They were talking about you as such a favorable light. The audience was cheering. And then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Yeah.
But there's probably no one in history that I've ever seen that's been attacked the way you've been attacked, and the way they've done it, so coordinated and systematically. When you see those same people in the past, very favorable to you, like Oprah, when you were on Oprah's show,
very.
She was encouraging you.
Last week I did one of her last shows, I think maybe Thursday or Friday. That was a big deal, being on Oprah's show, the last one. And I was like one of the last shows in that final week. And I said, boy, we've come a long way since that.
What was it like?
Well, the concept, it was really like two different lives. You know, I had a very wonderful life, but I wanted to do this. The Apprentice was still going very strong.
So now here's Megyn Kelly calling out Whoopi Goldberg. Let's tune in.
Whoopi Goldberg was angry when Alyssa pointed out that Trump went to the funeral of Officer Diller.
Yes.
On Long Island, and Joe Biden went to a podcast. Look at Whoopi Goldberg's reaction.
Choose what you like there, but for Republicans, it was good imagery.
Really?
1 day later, yes.
And I'm asking that because I was so offended, because you know who showed up.
Yeah.
And he was, whether he was asked or not. This is a man who didn't care what happened to the officers on January.
She promotes Joe Biden and Kamala Harris every day on that show. Trump wasn't supportive enough of the cops who were, yes, in danger. How does that explain their behavior on a daily basis toward Harris, toward Biden, toward AOC, toward all of the left, including their own show, Sunny Hostin? The hypocrisy is rank.
Wow. Megyn Kelly did not hold him back, guys. So now here's Candace Owens going hard on The View. Let's tune in and calling them out on their BS.
Doing everything right, having to go through work visas, everything that we have done for the last 5 years, only to see this woman sit up and be like, yeah, my parents didn't do that, but it would be really unfair if you sent them back. I just don't understand how they don't understand. And it is just this sort of consistent mainstream media delusion that is difficult for most Americans to come to terms with. They're campaigning, essentially they have been campaigning and telling the public, really, you should do it or somebody else is going to be sad, or do it or you're a racist, do it or you're a sexist. That is pretty much all they say. That is the pitch. They become really a skipping CD. Like artificial unintelligence. They can't learn anything at all. And when someone tries to interject a different thought or perspective, they simply just go back to their factory settings. Take a listen to Alyssa Farah. Okay, that's the fake Republican, the mandatory fake Republican that they have on The View. And they go, oh, I'm a Republican, but I actually happen to always agree with the people on The View. Okay, well, that's Alyssa Farah's role. And she does occasionally say some things that make sense. And she sat down there and tried to explain to Sunny Hostin, like, maybe there's another angle here as to why Latinos are voting for Trump. Take a listen to this.
So you have people talking about, well, how did he win Michigan? Because Democrats are saying, oh, she should have talked more about Gaza. No, union halls were empty. Dearborn went for Donald Trump. This is not about a micro issue like Gaza. It's people saying the cost of living is too high. The wages are too low. My life felt better under him. And I know what we'll say. Well, Goldman Sachs says the economy will do better under her. The analysts at UPenn and Wharton will say nobody who is struggling to make ends meet at the table, like how am I going to pay this bill, cares what Wharton professors say about the economy.
With misinformation.
Let just one more thing I want to say. This issue of abortion, which
Whoopi and Sunny Hostin bother me so much. Look at Whoopi trying to agree with Sunny. Like, they're both stupid.
I hope we can unpack more. There are a lot of women who cared about abortion, but they were in states like Pennsylvania where they don't have an ultra-restrictive abortion law. They were voting more because they're like pocketbook issues matter more than if a woman in Alabama is able to get an abortion.
They're going to do worse under a Trump administration. The only people that are going to do well are the millionaires and the billionaires.
And finally,
what is she talking about? Do the people on the left actually think that Trump's not going to help everyday people? What the hell?
We talk a lot about these different demographics and these assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
It's on the border.
Misogyny? What? She's saying Latino men voting for Trump are misogynists. What the... Holy crap.
It's like the crisis was on their doorstep.
So-
and they were begging people to care about it for years. We need to take some lessons.
That's what that
The
was.
lessons are not.
Who's that?
That's it. There could be no other reason. It's misogyny. It's sexism. That's why the Latinos are doing it. It's going to get even better because later on, now they're saying that Latinos are racist. I promise you, that's the new takeaways. Like, we didn't realize that racism has gotten so bad that Latinos are extremely racist.
So here's Candace Owens actually calling out The View and Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar. Let's tune in.
Hold on a minute. This is hilarious. Oh my god. That girl, she summarized it. Basically, their default settings is to be narcissistic. Not narcissistic, but to basically do it, or like she said, you're either going to do it or you're racist, you're going to do it, or you're a sexist, or you know what I mean? That's all it is. It's basically like what my mom would do. Narcissistic stuff to me, it's like in a form of emotional control. They try to hit people's emotional control buttons and to try to get them to react their way and think their way. So this girl's right. It's so scary, right, man? Jesus. Okay.
Do any of you men have any eggs or the possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants? You have no idea. Now, I'm fine if you disagree with abortion. I have no problem with that. My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you?
Honestly, this isn't even about whether you're pro-choice or pro-life. I just do not like bad arguments. And the arguments that are coming from the left right now are absolutely bonkers. So let's start with absolutely bonkers, Joy Behar.
It's a very interesting schism that goes on here because on the one hand, sex sells everywhere. I mean, you can't see an aspirin commercial without somebody having sex. Mm-hmm. You cannot turn on any program, especially on streaming, where people are having there's soft porn everywhere now. Right. They encourage all of that. It sells everything. Sex sells. Yeah. And yet when it comes to the reality of pregnancy, this particular group of people on the right in this country and these religious zealots do not understand the reality of what happens when you have sex.
I don't think she knows that it's not pronounced sex, but we'll pretend that there's an H somewhere in there. I want to say, yes, Joy Behar, you are correct. Sex is everywhere. Our culture is sick. That is an argument that's a diagnosis. We have an increasingly sick culture here in America. Religious zealots and or people on the right very much understand that reality. We understand that when a culture promulgates promiscuity, it leads to people engaging in unfulfilling, unprotected sex. Far from your assessment that we don't understand what happens when you have sex, we understand exactly what happens.
Don't they realize that people on the right are more conservative and typically don't have unprotected sex with people they don't want to have a child with? That's why the whole abortion thing isn't much of an issue for people on the right, because they don't have to be like, oh, do I need to have an abortion or not? Because they just wait until marriage.
Children are the consequence. Life is the consequence. It would seem to me that it's the atheist zealots, the ones who have normalized sex-laden aspirin commercials, that don't quite understand what happens when you have unprotected sex. And then, when they find out, they go, whoops, well, good thing I learned in health class that I can just get an abortion to deal with it. Did you know, Joy, that before federally funded sex ed programs in school, now let's hear from your co-host.
Do any of you men have any eggs or the possibility of carrying a fetus? How dare you talk about what a fetus wants? You have no idea.
Well, I'd love the same
abortion. I have no problem with that. Now, I'm fine if you disagree with abortion. I have no problem with that. My problem comes when you tell me what I need to do with my doctor and my family. How dare you? How dare you?
All right.
Right, counterpoint to you, Whoopi Goldberg. Number 2. Did you guys know back at home, by the way, that in 2017, Whoopi Goldberg received a GLAAD Media Award for executively producing a show called Strut? It was a transgendered modeling show.
What?
She won the award for speaking up for trans rights and against those trying to roll them back.
Oopsies!
This is why I love intersectionality. Here we are in the middle of a vicious culture war where a bunch of...
Yeah, I think Whoopi forgot a little thing called YouTube and social media, where once you say something, yeah, it lasts forever. So, sorry, Whoopi, you're getting exposed today.
Men playing...
Like and subscribe.
Dress up and trying to convince people that they are women and can give birth, and they can chest feed, and here comes along Whoopi Goldberg, and she's so fired up about abortion that she accidentally tells the truth.
No way!
Only women can give birth. Only women have a womb that is capable of carrying a child. They say, never get in the way of our enemies when they are making a mistake. They also say, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I say, thanks, Whoopi, for proving that even idiots are capable of understanding basic biology.
Oh my God!
Ouch.
And for the last counterpoint, which I believe is so important in terms of this abortion debate.
So apparently there might be a lawsuit here. Let's tune in.
And thank goodness that they came out, and thank goodness that they said, you don't do this to our bakery. You don't do this to a family business. I hope there's a lawsuit here. I hope Whoopi Goldberg has to pay a huge, huge birthday check to this bakery. They deserve it.
I think ABC's on the hook here.
I hope they pay too then.
Because what we were just talking about...
That's a fair point, because ABC, they have, they're the ones who put that on air. So this could actually be a really, it's going to have a good ending to the story if the bakery ends up getting any money at all.
Holterman's Bakery. But when you look up, by the way, everybody's Googling this so much now that you just put in 3 letters and it's the first thing that comes up. But when you go, you see they're iconic, those cupcakes.
Yes.
So they're in like every shot of what's being said while Whoopi's, tearing this woman down and accusing her of being politically discriminatory. So my question is, how much on the hook is ABC News? How much on the hook is Whoopi? Somebody is, because according to the law, how does it work?
Yeah, when you look at libel, slander, or defamation, you can't just not say the bakery's name and say, okay, I'm off the hook. I didn't slander or libel anyone here because I didn't say the name of the bakery. If there's a fact that you disclose that could lead someone to infer what you are talking about, you can still be on the hook. And to your point, that infamous, or not infamous, I should say famous, white box with the pink polka dots allow people to very easily find that this was Holterman's Bakery.
It's so famous it was good enough for The View.
Yes, she chose to unleash, Whoopi Goldberg, to unleash the attack dogs based on what evidence? What evidence led her to believe this was about politics?
I don't know.
None. But thank God this bakery is fighting back.
Well, it's about politics now, because as you said, some of those New York representatives could very well be Democrats as well.
Yeah, but Staten Island is, it's pretty conservative. They're rare territory in terms of the 5 boroughs of New York City. Great people there. They obviously are very passionate about their environment and their community. And, what is Whoopi Goldberg doing? Calling me like, this is Whoopi Goldberg, and I need something custom made for me and my Whoopi Goldbergness now. And they might have had those pre-made. So before the boiler broke down, someone, may have made all of those lovely confections, which someone...
You know what's actually crazy, though, guys? Is there actually is a business that is rejecting people. This is in Santa Barbara, California, and it's a bakery cafe that does not want your business if you voted for Trump. So make sure you do not support them in any way. Please spread the word to anyone you know in the area. So this is called... Crush Cakes. They actually posted on their Instagram, let them eat D words. And they said, okay, I looked at some of your comments. If you voted for a convicted R word, a known R word who led an I and wants to take away the rights of women, LGBTQ+, then Crush Cakes is not for you. I hope that clears things up. So there actually is a bakery who's rejecting Trump supporters. And there's another one in Cannon Beach, Oregon.
Wow.
The shop does not want your business if you voted for Trump. It says, if you voted for him, you're not welcome here. Woo! So it's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, you're pretending like people on the right. Like, mostly conservative people, they're like open to free speech. They're like,
here's the thing though, a business can refuse you service for any reason. That's the way the market is. I think they can refuse you business for political alignment, for political reasons. I think it's legal, or at least not illegal, to do that, because they can refuse you business for any reason, from what I gather. Any business can refuse you service for any reason. It's depending on whatever the manager says.
well, we welcome everyone. But let's listen to what Tomi Lahren has to say about Whoopi.
Well, I think the truth is that Whoopi Goldberg is an incredibly self-indulgent person who thinks everything is about her. So she thinks and takes it personally because that's how highly she thinks of herself, and she thinks everyone else regards her in that way, that they would care what her politics are, that they would go to such lengths that they wouldn't make her a cupcake. I'll tell you what this also is, in my opinion, is it's projection and it's deflection. This is what the left does. I've had numerous instances in California and other liberal places where people didn't want to serve me, or where I got, bad looks, or I felt obviously uncomfortable being in a place because of who I am and what I believe in. I would never call these places out on air. I would never try to disparage them or hurt their business. But I think that she's used to that because she's on the left, and maybe she would do that to somebody. So she automatically assumes that was done to her, but it quite clearly wasn't.
It's boom shakalaka. I love Tomi Lahren. Big update with Whoopi. Let me know your thoughts down below.
Well, the thing is, you try to come up with the biggest conceptualization of reality that you can, including spiritual things, not just, the political things and all these other more mundane, worldly things. You try to understand their ideas of magic, their ideas of mysticism, their ideas of the anointing and the other things in the scriptures. You try to understand this, and the more you understand it, you almost hit up a wall. You hit a wall, and the wall is you can't pass unless you have real faith. And then you can't pass unless your faith is proven. And then you can't pass again, another wall. You can't pass unless your faith is unshakable. Like Job. His faith was unshakable despite his circumstances. Despite all circumstances. All that pain and suffering. Unshakable. See? I don't know what wall would be after that. It's probably something else. But that's where I am. And I just want to have that unshakable faith. Despite all circumstance. That everything's going to be okay. That things will work itself out. That the demons will lose their tenacity and just fall away. You know, they're like fleas. Those things are like fleas. They just jump on you. They mess with you. And, you know, they infect you. You get sick for a while. You get, negative energy, I guess you could say. And after a while, it just goes away, like any flea bite. And that's really all they are. If you have too many fleas, you just get some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and after they hit you, you just spray them and they'll die. That's how you kill those fleas. If they hit you, just spray yourself with some alcohol, spray them, make sure you hit them, and within maybe, 10 seconds, they'll just die. Because the alcohol will destroy their carapace, and they can't, and it just bleeds them out. They evaporate. Without that carapace, they immediately lose all their fluids, and they just die. You can do that with full adult bed bugs. It'll work with adult bed bugs too, but it will not work with the eggs. The eggs, you have to burn them, you have to bake them. So what I do is, if I think I have bed bugs, I'll take my clothes, clean or dirty, put it in bags, and put it in the car. Because the car, in 3 hours, it'll reach a certain temperature, and it'll burn those bed bug eggs. But you have to put it in the sun. It has to be in a hot, sunny day. It can't be in a cold. You can't do it in the cold. You can try to bake your clothes, but that's dangerous, so be careful if you try that. I think it's 3 hours or so minimum, and you'll get so many degrees in the car, and that'll kill the eggs for the bed bugs, and then they'll be gone. You'll be free of that mess. And that's what I'll do right there. Yeah, those things are just awesome. Yeah. Well, so much for that. Let me get back here. Did I? Oh, shoot, I forgot about these. Did I get it? Oh, it's at 438. Oh, I did get the next level of melee. I got a male and a female. Wow, that's good. I just got one egg. That one egg had what I needed. All right. So we're going to disable that. Don't really need the female, but I'll raise her and I can kill her later if I... Oh, no, this is the female. The male. Hold on. Yeah. Sorry, I was kind of rambling on about old miracles and stuff. These people need a miracle in this country. I'm just an old fool, but I tell you something. I have experiences. I know what is, and I have faith everything's going to be okay. I'm not worried about it. Let me turn this male off and get him out of position so he doesn't generate any more eggs. Okay, so this should be, what is it, 15? No, this is 16, so that one should be 17. Yeah, 708, so now we're at 716. Awesome. Nice. 17. See? There we go. Yeah, I tell you. Been a bitch. Fucking fleas. You gotta watch it with those fleas. Like I said, get a spray bottle with rubbing alcohol, maybe 70% rubbing alcohol, and that'll kill them. I had a flea infection or infestation in the apartment because I have a lot of cats. So, and they were driving the cats crazy and driving me crazy. So I let the flea bite me, and then I spray it, and the damn thing will die. You know, I couldn't find anything else that would do the job. But alcohol's great because as long as you don't squirt yourself or the cats in the eyes, you know, you're good. All right, so I got to let that grow. And I got super lucky. That was just one egg I had right there. Let's see if there's any more. Real quick. Oh, man. Too old for this shit. I have to take my pain meds again. There's one egg there. So I want to clear out those eggs because when I breed them again, I want to make sure that they're the next level eggs. See, here's another one, miscellaneous. I'll put them down to see if they're worth anything. I mean, you can potentially get a double mutation, but I mean, I don't know. Every time I get a double or a triple mutation, it's always in stats that I don't want, which doesn't do me any good. If you get them in the same stat, that'd be different. All right, it's been an hour and 21 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. I actually got the mutation, so I ain't bitching, I'll tell you. This should be, what was it, 17? Yeah, 17. This is going to be LA mutation 17. Boom. Let these roll. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Sorry I kind of went off on the side there, but thank you for watching. You take care of yourselves. Have a good one.